Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Lopez. Welcome to the Daily Trade Nightly Watch List. We are moving into the week of December, pretty much getting out of this Thanksgiving nice run on the month. We had the Dow finally reach 30,000. Everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Record sales in Black Friday shopping, and I will cover that in just a moment. First, though, I want you to subscribe. Go ahead and like the video down below. And I also want to let you know that we are here Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. We are here for you. The market data, the charts, and everything is up for you, and it is there. And I want to just let you know that this has been very fun in the past couple of weeks making these videos for you guys, and I intend to make them even more. So let's just cover pretty much what happened on Friday, right? We got the news about, pretty much Black Friday sale, and we're still getting news about all the stuff that happened for Black Friday. Black Friday sales. Look at this. We had record 22% raise to a record 9 billion, Adobe says. But look at this. If you're seeing a lot of stuff based on Adobe Analytics, right? Look at the Amazon, Shopify. Look what they're going to be doing, right? You're going to have Adobe as well, Autodesk. You're going to have Zoom. You probably had a lot of Zoom sales, right? So there's all these different tech stocks that you're still going to be looking at, not only just shopping wise for Black Friday, but industries that are online. Same thing, right? So tech boom. Apple is going to have record sales. They're going to report some of this mostly from these couple months, right, into their next ER. So pretty much running into that, I mean, we're looking at some crazy stuff. I mean, everyone obviously, we already kind of knew this. We might have been worried about consumer spending because of the year with a lot of job losses, but the record sales is telling us that we still have a lot of consumer spending out there ready to blow on Black Friday, the American spending spree. So this is pretty much, what we're looking at going into the rest of pretty much the rest of the year, getting into the holidays, is that we're still going to continue a rise in consumer spending, allowing us to continue the expansion with, seeing how far Amazon can run, seeing how far Shopify can run, seeing how far all these different stocks can run. Look at, I mean, Roku, right? You got Roku, the one that's going to be selling a bunch of TVs Black Friday. We didn't even talk about that yet. But Black Friday, I mean, I bought a Roku TV, right? There's a different thing. Like, you got to figure out what's selling on Black Friday and let that trend grow. So pretty much with that, I mean, what was really moving in this past week? We had a lot of slow things moving, right? Some of the slow things I just talked about, right? Amazon has been slow all week, even with some positive news about possibly having a good Black Friday spree. We've still been slow. Yet tomorrow when it opens up, we're going to see a nice gap. We might see a nice gap in continuation as we move into the next month, right? So that's something to look forward to, as well as Shopify. Shopify got somewhat of a boost there towards the end of the week, and that was cool to see as we're headed towards new all-time highs. And that's if we continue through this choppy waters right here. And that's something that we have to look forward to. And with all the consumer spending, obviously more shopping online for COVID because nobody wants to go indoors. So that's something we have to look forward to. But the other market movers for this week, right? We're looking at our baby Tesla, right? We had a nice move from the 400 level all the way up from last week, continuing higher this week. And that was just awesome to see that continuation, almost touched 600. And seeing that we almost did, I mean, it was awesome. Just seeing that Tesla is about to be 600, closer to that December 21st merge with the S&P. And we had Myrna mooning, right? Myrna and a couple other vaccine stocks are taking the lead this past week because of the AZN news about it not being, possibly going to be coming back. So there's a lot of stuff hyping it up and seeing who's going to have the best vaccine coming in, even though we already know, obviously, the ones that are ready, PFE, Johnson Johnson might have one. So there's different ones that we're looking at that just really have to pay attention to. As well as we already know, and we talked about in the last watch list, weed stocks, right? Weed stocks are something we have to look forward to in the future, just because this week they are coming out with a law that is going to be substantial to these stocks, right? Federalizing, marijuana is a huge thing, and that is coming out next week. They're going to be voting on it. So seeing that this is happening, a lot of people are going to go crazy for weed stocks, start buying in again, right? We had this long trend of just downward spiral with ACB, right? And that was not fun to play with. But seeing that this long trend has been coming down, has been waiting, right? We've been waiting for something to pop. And that's finally where we came in, right? And now we have a nice cup and handle getting out. And there's just a lot of stuff that we can look forward to with these wheat stocks. And so going back to where we saw that growth back a few years ago, we finally get it back this year. We could possibly see a run up into the Biden administration, right? So ACB, CGC, Cron, CGC is probably the best one to move with, more substantially than ACB. Cron as well, a lot easier to move with. So these are things that we should be looking forward to this week as we get the news, and just right, we're buying the rumors, selling the news. So even if it's good news, it's possibly still going to be a sell-off. So that's what we have to pay attention to. As well as NEO, right? We're still having that short sell on it. That short sell is a 34. I'm pretty sure it's like a 35% now, right, on NEO. Let me tell you the news as well with Chinese stocks. Chinese stocks this week, there's going to be a possible audit on them, and if they don't get the audit from the U.S. side, then they're going to be delisted, and that's where a lot of the talk is going. There's a lot of news on that, and so that's really where we want to, pay attention to, is a lot of these Chinese stocks, right? BABA, we want to pay attention to, and as well as NEO as the top ones. PLTR had a little bit of dip there after a nice pop in the morning on Friday. So we are seeing some downside even after Citron announced that they are shorting the stock. So there's a lot of stuff that is moving, and that was moving, and that we are going to continue to see moving, right? Sorry, not mooning, but moving. And as well as seeing the record numbers, not record numbers, but the numbers that were coming out, and seeing how crowded airports were, we saw a lot of movement in airlines. Just pretty much seeing that we're still seeing that consumer spending, seeing still people fly everywhere. So that's something that that is interesting to note. And I really want to go over the ones that we're going to be moving into next. And I pretty much already talked about that, right? Amazon, we're going to see Amazon seeing that pop up. We're going to see a little bit of movement finally, right? On Amazon, we've been waiting for this, waiting for this. It's just been waiting and waiting and waiting. It's not fun playing the waiting game, but you know what? It's worth it. Shopify, right? Weed stocks. We're going to be looking at a lot of movers, and we are going to have to stay with it. You're going to see some of these smaller ones, right? There's a bunch of special acquisitions, by the way, that have been moving, but we aren't going to be paying attention to those, because guess what? That is all hype and not real. I mean, you could trade them, right, based on the volume and everything, but it is not something that is going to come out and you're going to, pretty much already know what's going to happen. It's going to be out of the ordinary, or you're going to buy on FOMO, and that's most of the time where you lose the money. But if you plan and you research and you're actually following along with what's going on, then you can actually buy into these stocks and get in cheaper than these other companies that are smaller and just getting pumps out of nowhere, right? We are also going to be looking at SPY, only because SPY is at its almost at its all-time high, right? We opened up a little bit higher today on futures than we did on Friday, so we are looking at that, pretty much $1 away from. Sorry, this isn't futures. Let me pull it up. We did open up higher, sorry, but we are just a couple of dollars away from getting that all-time high. And with any news this week, we might be able to. So we are looking forward to that as well. Still seeing what might happen this week with work, right? We're still getting that news that the announcement, Salesforce will officially announce that they are going to be buying out work, which is Slack. And we see this volume, right? The volume held it up all day on Friday from that Wednesday. So let's see how we can continue higher if that news officially comes out and gets to that all-time high. This is insane, though. Look at that gap. $30 all the way to $40, and now possibly to $50. It might be possible, but we have to be, sure about it. Possibly get in with a little bit of run up. That was a lot of volume on Wednesday, so we got to pay attention to that as we come into the rest of the days with IV crushes, a lot of stuff, right, as we await news, and there possibly might be some crushes before news comes out. So that's really what I really wanted to cover with that. And another thing to note is my new favorite, right, Snow, breaking new all-time highs after their IPO. What is it? They had $319 as our all-time high from their IPO day. debut, and now we broke it on Friday. I was up 104% on that play from the night before, sold it out. But this thing is looking like it's building volume on the daily, and we're looking to go a little bit higher, right? There's a lot of volume pushing it higher, and on Friday, that was just awesome to see how it just lifted off at open. And we're going to continue to see that. There's volume die off in the end of the day, but we still could see that run up into next week. And even as earnings are the 2nd of December, that is pretty much on Wednesday, you might even see it continue higher, even with a lot of institutions in it. Let's see, there was also Apple that we wanted to cover. Apple, if you didn't know, Apple's been in such a stray away, right? We've been in such a long haul, just like Amazon. We just been waiting for this to come out. So this long yellow trend line you see here, and yes, I love trends. Trend line has been holding up since March, and we have seen this bounce off this level for multiple times now. Now, if I just cover that up and actually just hide this thing, you'll be able to see that we have a nice volume profile here, right? We have a nice volume hold up. And just waiting, right? It's just been waiting around this area just to see if there's any catalyst, anything that's going to move it. And we have this long 2 trend lines just forming a wedge here that's just going to be breaking out. And you know what? And in comparison to this, you know what it looks like? Tesla, right? Kind of looks like that wedge with the volume profile, just waiting for something to happen, and then boom, pops off. And that's really where we might see some pop off with a possible 120. I mean, sorry, not 120. Yes, 120, but a 130 price target in the near future, finally getting back up and possibly hitting that all-time high by January, March, right? So these 2 time frames is pretty much where I'm looking at these options contracts, right? So mainly just March with a 120 in mind, just because seeing how we could get a nice run up into the holidays with tech, we might be able to hit that strike and get a little bit extra on top of that as a little bit of whipped cream, a little bit of topping of extra profits. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And as well as continuing to buy in some more travel, more banks. So love it. Got to own it. And I want to thank you for watching the watch list tonight. Again, let me go and pull in this cycle again. We are pretty much currently, right, there was no progress made. There was the COVID infection and hospitalization numbers increase. And that was pretty much, I think, last week. Market sells off and lockdown fears. We were pretty much in that, but there was no sell off. Good vaccine and drug news we might come out with this week, and this is where we might be heading to in the near future, right? So this is pretty much our cycle. We're pretty much in the phases right here and what we're looking at. And that's really what I wanted to cover tonight. I want to thank you again for watching the watch list tonight. I hope you join me tomorrow morning. And guess what? Our options course is finally up and open. You can go ahead and sign up in the link below, and I will be able to see you there. January 3rd, we have it live. All right. Thank you, and have a good night, everyone.